Hey, are you interested in learning more about the whole reality shifting craze? Check out the audiobook, Parallel Universes of Self. It's the Bible of reality shifting worldwide, and I got to narrate it. A direct link is available on hightimelinebooks.com, or you can get it directly from Audible and Apple Books.
Hello, and welcome to the Fun Astrology Podcast. This is Alisa Dixon filling in for Thomas, and I'm excited to talk to you about what's happening in the sky today. First up, we have a Venus-Mars opposition, which perfected early this morning at 5:46 a.m. An opposition typically shows where things are out of balance and often shows up as conflict. And in this case, since these are two of our personal planets, this may show up in our personal lives, maybe as an argument or conflict with someone we love or care about. And Venus and Mars are both in fixed signs, which means compromise is not likely in the moment, because each planet wants to stand firm to what they want. Venus is in Aquarius, where she has fixed ideas about her mindset or opinions or what she knows to be true. And Mars, newly retrograde, is in Leo, where he has some fixed ideas on how to act or maybe not act on something. Maybe it's Mars's inaction on something that becomes the problem, because the retrograde is making Mars behave a little differently than usual. And this could be where this Venus-Mars opposition begins. So imagine this scenario. Maybe Venus said, "Hey Mars, last week we made plans to go do this cool thing. Are you ready to go?" And Mars says, "Oh yes, Venus, but we talked about that before I turned around in the sky and went retrograde. And now I'm not sure I want to go do that thing anymore." And Venus is in fixed Aquarius. And she says, "No, Mars, we made plans." And she knows she is right and she won't accept anything else. And Mars is in fixed Leo. And he wants what he wants, and that's that. Both won't budge. And they stand firm on opposite sides of the sky and square off. Whew! Well, we always say, as above, so below. So I ask, have you seen anything like that play out in your life or heard something similar from a friend in the last few days? I will tell you, this showed up in my life this week. Not that exact scenario, of course, but this kind of opposition could play out in a number of ways. And I'm betting that whatever the conflict was, it has already happened. I say that because Mars moves ahead of itself, and that means we typically feel whatever aspect Mars is making a day or two in advance of when it becomes exact. So even though this opposition with Venus was exact this morning, now for the rest of the day, Mars and Venus are separating, but we all may be left in the aftermath of whatever just happened. So, what's next? What's the path forward? Fortunately, the universe always comes through for us. For every tough aspect, a good one follows. Forming around this Venus-Mars opposition today, we have a kite, which is generally a positive configuration. Mercury in Sagittarius and the North Node in Aries are joining Venus and Mars, forming a grand trine with Mars and forming two sextiles on each side of Venus. So let's break that down. Mercury is all about communication, and the North Node is about going in a new direction. Mercury and the North Node are bringing a burst of energy to Mars, since they all are in fire signs, and this is a grand trine in fire. Venus is all about love and balance and harmony. Mercury and the North Node are joining with Venus, bringing an opportunity to communicate in a new way. And Venus is at the top of the kite, which makes her the leader of all these planets. So in the aftermath of this Venus-Mars opposition, here's how we go high timeline today as we go out into the world. If we lead with love and communicate freely, yet positively, and in a new way, that will settle things down and bring harmony back into the relationships that need it. And there's one last thing to mention. The moon today is in Taurus, in a sextile with Saturn in Pisces, which is further supporting our efforts around relationship building. So the last few days may have been a little tough, but I feel really good about today. Thomas will be back again tomorrow, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks again for listening, and take care, everyone.